morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Friday. You gotta get down on Friday. Feels like a little delayed, like Friday's like halfway done already by the time we record this. We are recording a little delayed today.
We are, but I did like Friday, the abridged version by Turdy Lou.
Friday, Turdy's version.
It always is.
So it always is. Today is Friday, which is just fabulous news. It doesn't feel like a real Friday because we had a short week, so it feels like we almost don't even deserve this Friday. Does anybody else feel that way?
Is that true? This was a short week?
It was Memorial Day. Are you okay?
You're so right. Honestly, this was a very long week for me.
Yeah, like you had like a bunch of doctor's appointments. That's why we are late today. Apologies for the late recording with Recordia and Jax. But Jackie had a bunch of doctor's appointments this morning, and your girlie attended them, and I have a lot of thoughts.
Claudia was my companion. What were your thoughts on the whole scene at the OB?
Well, my first thought was like, I just kind of felt like I was like walking in the shoes. I really thought everyone in the office thought we were a couple. Because we look more like a lesbian couple than we do sisters. We look nothing alike.
Okay, but why can't we be friends?
I just feel like friends don't take each other to their appointments.
I know, but I feel like we were acting more like friends and less coupley. Like we were cracking up. I feel like couples really don't do that.
Definitely not.
At that point, like in pregnancy.
Well, it just kind of felt exciting, like to just like have people see me through a new lens. Like I'm just a partner. You know, I'm a supportive partner.
Yeah, you were a supportive partner. That's facts.
And obviously I went because I love you dearly. And, you know, Zach had to watch Harry, so of course I would come. Had I known that you had an appointment at like this imaging thing right across the street from what will now be like moving forward my favorite place on the planet, I would have come to all of your appointments since you came to New York. Like we were getting hungry. It was long, by the way. We were there for like 3 hours. You had like a bunch of different appointments. And at one point, I think I mentioned, you know, lunch afterwards. And you were like, why don't you run across the street? There's like some restaurants. Go get us some food. So I was like, oh, okay. And I just kind of stumbled into this place. I didn't realize as I was walking in that it was a Zabar's, you know, a New York classic. There's like 15 of them in the city. Mm-hmm. And, you know, every time anybody like writes a book or makes a movie about New York, it's like Zabar's, fresh bread. So I'm like ashamed to admit that as a New Yorker, but more importantly as a Jew, I had never been to Zabar's, and I had such an unbelievable experience. I felt like the main character in a Nancy Meyers movie. I like wanted to get a baguette and just wear a beret and like walk around this little bistro. I was overwhelmed, first of all, by the options, like the fresh bread, fresh pastries, bagels. It was like 11, so we were going like breakfast.
Yeah.
But then I saw like the hot food selection. I saw, you know, delicious looking rice. I saw chicken tenders.
Do you see things in which to make Turdy's warm bowls?
I did. It was kind of like a warm bowl haven, if you will. Ooh. And I felt like a better version of myself. Like my new kind of life goal is to be the girl that was in the market. Like I was just kind of sashaying around, you know, looking at the baguettes. I felt like, seriously, I came back and I said to Jackie that I felt like Meryl Streep's character in It's Complicated, because she owns this like major French marketplace bakery where they like have fresh espresso and baguettes and croissant every day. And I know people who live in New York are like, oh my God, this bitch is not making a 40-minute podcast about Zabar's. But like I had never been.
I haven't been in a really long time, like not old enough to appreciate it. Mm-hmm. If I've ever really even stepped in, I feel like I've only ever gotten like their crackers. We're going to have to go after my next doctor's appointment. Like I'll let Zach know that you have to be there. And we'll have to go and have the full experience. Like for a lunch, a meal, we can sit and dine in.
Yes, it had like these gorgeous, very French inspired like booths and banquettes, but it wasn't big and it wasn't busy. It was like, and it was like almost lunch rush, but it was in a very quiet neighborhood, so it wasn't overwhelming. There are some really nice places and you want to like spend your afternoon there, but they're so busy that you just like get in and get out. No, not Zabar's. It was like a culinary experience. I swear to God, when I stepped out, I was like, I am in France. Like it was so elevated.
So you took a trip to France this morning?
Pretty much.
Bon nuit, Turdy Lou.
Bon nuit.
I'm honestly jealous. I'm wishing that I had that experience and walked in and you would like never know it because we just got like bagels with cream cheese, which I honestly
fumbled.
Corner.
Like I fumbled in terms of the actual purchasing, but it was like a weird time. It was 11:15. It's not lunch.
But yeah, you could have gotten us our lunches too because we would have been ready for lunch in like 1 hour later.
I didn't know that we were going to be at this doctor's appointment literally till 1 o'clock. I thought we were almost done, honestly.
We were, but it was just like almost done is still long.
No, we came in there for 3 things, like an imaging, a shot, and one other thing. And it was an hour per thing. Like, it was just slow.
Yeah, and you have to, like, start, when you do one thing, then you go back to the waiting room.
Yeah.
You go through it again. Like, the way that a doctor's appointment is an hour, when you try and do, like, 3 things in one doctor's appointment, it's 3 hours.
But going to these, like, fertility, like, doctors did remind me of the first time I went to, like, an appointment for my wedding planning, because I remember when let me explain. I remember when I, like, started meeting with, like, you know, at wedding dress shops and planners. I remember being so, like, taken aback by how everyone who works in the bridal industry was so nice. And they were, like, so excited about your wedding. Like, just as excited as you were. Like, the people who work in the bridal industry, like, make it special. They really do a good job. And I was thinking today, like, everyone we met, like, that nurse who we were chatting with at the end, and then that lady in the waiting room, and then the other girl who did, like, your cervix thing in the sonogram. Everyone was so nice and, like, so cared so much about you, and, like, we're, like, doing, you know, the most. Like, I got the images, but let me just make sure. Like, everyone was doing their jobs, like, so well, and they were so nice, and it was mostly women. It was just kind of, like, a great energy.
It's a great community.
It is, but I've never been a part, because obviously I've never been to, like, an imaging center.
I'm glad that you had a good experience in, like, witnessing the behind the scenes of, like, pregnancy care.
No, it's really, like, I think it's called neonatal.
Is it? No, that's, like, for babies, no?
But isn't it like neonatal care? I guess that's taking care of babies.
No, it's like women's health, but also
women's health.
I think the word is just pregnancy.
Okay, well, pregnancy care is
obstetrics.
Top tier.
Obstetrics.
Yeah, but you could also just be going in for a pap smear, and that's obstetrics. Like, I mean, like, pregnant women care.
Okay,
fertility.
Pregnant women care. No, fertility's a different sect.
Oh, okay. Well, everyone who works there was just, like, fucking nice, and I really appreciated it.
I'm so glad you had such a positive morning with your girl.
I did.
And you were being such a good sis. Really did me a solid.
It was also nice because, you know, I have kind of like a brain for science and an aptitude for medicine. So it was just kind of nice to get another opinion in there and be like, yeah, no, that imaging looks good.
You were pleased with what you saw. Carry on.
I was pleased with, I was monitoring, you know. I didn't want to point out when they were doing things wrong. I was monitoring. And you know what? They did good.
You did good.
So it was nice. And I just loved that market.
Yeah, I'm honestly, like, hungry again.
I know. I really fucked up, like, in terms of what I purchased. I so, like, shit the bed. I was honestly
you could have, like,
overwhelmed.
grocery shopped for us.
I know. There was, like, a big challah that I really wanted to get. I just didn't know if I could, like, come back to the doctor's office with, like, shopping bags. Like,
I think you would have been the life of the party.
I know, because we did get, like, a bunch of food, and we didn't eat all of it, but we were giving it away to the other pregnant ladies in the waiting room.
Because they were
this
hungry.
Girl was talking, she was like, I'm so hungry, but I didn't want to be late for my appointment. I was like, do you want half my bagel? And she took it.
It's a collective in there.
No, I'm telling you, like, the way that waiting room was never as lively as it was today. Like, Jax and Claude need a permanent residency in that waiting room.
It's true. I've been in that waiting room a bunch. It's never really popping like that.
And I feel like, is this place for high-risk pregnancies?
Yes, not exclusively, because I also went there in my pregnancy with Harry, but they do focus on high risk.
So, you know, morale can be low in a waiting room like that, and I think that they need to bring us in, like, on a bi-weekly basis.
Yeah, they need to bring you in. You made the difference. I'm always there.
I guess I could bring my guitar and do, like, my Miss Rachel impersonation.
You should go to a daycare and do that.
I know. If podcasting doesn't work out for me, I've taken Harry to, like, a bunch of those music classes. Like, that's definitely a job I am well suited for.
No, like, when people ask you, if you weren't a podcaster, what would you be? Like, that's your answer. Children's group musician.
Yeah, like those classes, like at the kids' gyms and stuff, where somebody walks around with a guitar and sings, like, Twinkle Twinkle. But they always have flair. Those people always have charisma.
Yeah.
They have talent. I feel like that's a job I'm extremely well suited for, except I feel like it's a lot of time on my feet.
Why not sit? No one said you have to stand.
Yeah, mine would kind of be like the low energy meditation class.
Yeah, or you do it with a partner. I think you'd be really good with Ben, and he can make the rounds, and he needs to pick up an instrument to make
pass
himself
out the
useful.
scarves.
He could pass out the scarves and, you know, the little maracas.
Yeah.
It's a really good future for you guys if your future as a cantorial duo doesn't work out.
No, it's just a backup plan. It's so important to, like, always have different options in life. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Harry loves your talents and services.
Right now, I perform for an audience of one, and I'm genuinely okay with that.
But, like, he literally is obsessed.
Obsessed. Jax and I spent the whole day together yesterday, which was fabulous.
We did. We were so Willy Wonka in bed together all day. Claudia got me a TV.
Well, okay, let's talk about that. Jackie's fully like on fucking bed rest out here without a fucking TV in her bedroom. Like, are you okay? I ordered one on, shout out to Costco Instacart, $200. Granted, it was a brand I had never heard of. It wasn't like a Sony or a Samsung or an LG. Who cares? $200 for a 55-inch TV that got delivered in an hour on Costco Instacart. We set it up. We got our Roku set. We watched Kardashians in bed. Like, I cannot believe you're out here, like, bed resting without a TV. You're seriously not okay.
No, I know. Well, there's just always so much going on in my house that, like, either I'm on my computer working or I'm just, like, texting it on my phone or I am reading. So it's like I hadn't noticed yet, like, that how annoying it is to not have a TV. But now that I have one, like, I'm addicted and now I need to find a show to binge. I'm thinking Desperate Housewives again.
There's never a bad time to restart Desperate Housewives. That's just kind of like a life lesson I think everyone should abide by.
Agreed.
I also told Jackie that she should start watching. What did I tell you when we were scrolling? Like
Weeds.
A show that's Weeds. Yeah, they have a lot of seasons. It's like funny. I think it's pretty lighthearted. I don't think it gets like too dark. And it's cute. I think you would like it a lot.
I remember I tried to start it once a million years ago and I wasn't into it, but maybe now I would be, like, as a mom. I think it's about like a mom who sells drugs.
Yeah, she just like gets into the weed business because she's like fallen upon tough times. And then, of course, over the course of like 10 seasons, she gets carried away.
Yeah. So I feel like that could be more my speed now, just like suburban drama.
Oh, and it's very suburban drama.
So maybe it's my time.
It could be. But we watched a lot of TV yesterday. We watched Kardashians, and then we both watched a bunch of episodes of that Smartless show, which we're just like intrigued by.
We're so intrigued by, and like we were watching at the same time separately, and we were just like texting each other because there were a couple things that were actually kind of shocking.
Yeah, the MIT guy.
The second Boston performance where they completely...
For those...
Oh, I guess I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, wait, but no, that's not what I was going to say.
Oh.
For people who, like, don't know what we're talking about, basically the Smartless podcast has a documentary that, like, documents their entire podcast tour. And on their tour, they have, like, a special guest come to every show. But the cool thing is that the audience doesn't know who the guest is going to be, and neither do 2 out of 3 of the hosts. Every show, one of the hosts will invite someone and then bring them on stage, and, like, everyone's really shocked. It's a really cool concept. I actually like it. So the first 2 shows were chosen by Will Arnett. Will Arnett brought...
Will Ferrell,
David Letterman, and Will Ferrell and Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
So like major comedy, and it was like so exciting.
If you're into Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Sean Hayes, then these are your kings.
So then for the next 2 shows, Jason Bateman was in charge of selecting a guest. And I would argue that out of the 3 of them, Jason Bateman is the most famous. Mm-hmm. So I was ready to be dazzled. And he's bringing out the guest. He's giving like an intro. And honestly, the way he's describing it, I thought he was going to bring out Elon Musk. He was talking about how smart this guy is, how he teaches at MIT, how he's responsible for the quantum physics of the universe, like all this stuff. And then he says the guy's name, Max something.
Tagmark.
Who's just like a really, 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 really smart, probably one of the smartest people in the world who like works at MIT. Who cares?
Yeah. It was
so awkward. Like we watched the tour, like the actual show. It was like awkward.
It was awkward because not only was the guest like not what buzzy and what people wanted, especially since like right before that was Conan. So I think on Twitter everyone was talking about like we had Conan tonight. So then the second show was like, oh my God, who are we getting?
Right.
And they got Max Tegmark, who is not a star, like a
A-list
traditional celebrity. And he's not a podcaster either. So, like, not only was it like, oh, I don't know that I want to hear about AI, but now I'm hearing a conversation about AI that's, like, not that, like, entertaining.
Funny. It was not entertaining. And when they got off stage, they, like, didn't know if they had done a bad job at first. And then the more they talked about it, like, they knew. And then the next morning they woke up and there was just, like, so much backlash from their fans because, like, people are paying for tickets. And for someone to get to see David Letterman and then someone else to see, like, Max Tegmark. And this is not any hate.
No.
He's a genius. He's just not entertaining. Like, I wouldn't go to a comedy show to go see a physicist. And it was just kind of awkward, especially because I really expected the most from Jason Bateman. And then his next guest was AOC. And some people had complained about that. And I was just like, what is with... I would have thought Jason Bateman would have brought, like, the most funny, the most famous, the most interesting. Not, like, 2 boring ones.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's crazy that they only started their podcast in 2020, and it's clear that like they know what they're doing. They're extremely successful. Yeah. They have this format. So I have two things to say. There's format that, you know, one person brings on the guest, the other two don't know who it is, and a conversation comes from there, which is really cute. It's like the mystery guest. And it works great on a podcast, because if you're a podcast listener and they bring out a guest that you don't really want to hear, like, okay, I'm just not listening today. Like, not a big deal. But when you buy a ticket for a show, you're spending your money, and then you also have to sit there for 2 hours, and you're listening to someone that you don't like, are not entertained by whatsoever. Like a concept of a mystery guest like doesn't really work when you're selling tickets, unless now they just commit to every guest being just like a fellow comedian that they know that their guests are going to love. But I do feel like Jason Bateman like wants to take this show in more of like a Joe Rogan direction, where we're having like intellectual conversations and we're not just like a bunch of comics sitting around. But the thing is, your audience wants to see a bunch of comics sitting around. Like if they wanted to hear about AI and science, like they might listen to a different podcast.
Yeah, no, he just like takes himself a little seriously.
But I feel like he's also trying to still carve out what the show could be. And I feel like we do that. It's natural to like change and stuff and like want to be more than what you're doing. I just like wouldn't experiment on a live show.
Yeah. No, it's very interesting to watch. It's not like what I thought it would be. Like every show is just like a banger. There's like highs and lows.
There's
and
highs
and
lows.
They're getting like a little sick of each other because they're nonstop. It's not like they go home in between. Like they're literally on a plane and a tour bus, and like they're just maybe like kind of getting annoyed with each other. Room. Which I thought was so interesting that they're not getting their own hotel rooms. Now, it's not like 2 queen beds in a regular... These are the craziest hotel rooms I've ever seen in my life. They're like 4-bedroom apartments.
They literally don't end.
They're so big. Like, Sean kept getting lost in the room. Like, they're so big. I find the logistics of how they travel really interesting.
Yeah. Also, it's only a 10-city tour, right?
I don't know.
I think that it is. Like, it's not, eras.
No, but it's still like 2 weeks living in the same room as 2 other people, and you're like a grown man.
Yeah, they could get their own rooms.
Yeah.
But they don't want to.
It's interesting. No, it's very interesting. It's very good. I really like it. I was also really shocked to learn that their podcast only started in 2020. For me, they're just like one of those OG podcasts. Like, they're always at the top of the comedy chart. I just assumed that they were seriously like a staple in the podcast community.
No, I knew that they were fresher, but that like there were a lot of podcasts that popped up during COVID, especially celebrity podcasts that like petered off, maybe even quit, but or just like respectable in the top 200, whatever. Mm-hmm. But that they really made it. Like, and they obviously really have something that people really like.
Yeah. They have like a star factor. Like their podcast. But I'm like
watching their show, like even the live show, and like people are laughing in the crowd, and like I'm not laughing. Like I don't think
we're the target demo.
No, but Zach's cracking up.
No,
He's
Zach
like,
is definitely
awesome.
Zach is definitely target demo.
Yeah, he is. So it's just interesting. But I find the whole concept interesting. There are parts that are more boring than other parts, but I think the interesting parts make it worth the boring parts.
Yeah, and it's just rising tides, rise all tides. Like, this is a great moment for podcasting.
It is a great moment for podcasting, and it also makes me think about like other, like the scale of other podcasts. Like,
yeah,
I would love to see more of this type of content of like on the road with a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, the scale of their podcast and their tour, I don't think is predicated on the scale of their podcast. I think it's predicated on the scale of their celebrity.
I do agree.
Because even people who have podcasts bigger than Smartless go on tour and they don't take private planes. But these are 3 people who are very independently wealthy.
Yeah.
And famous.
I agree with that. So maybe it wouldn't be as interesting to watch.
I don't know, yeah.
If it was just a couple of podcasters.
But it's nice. I like that HBO's doing something different. Like, it's cool.
Yeah. I hope it sets a good precedent.
So,
now that we've chatted.
At length.
About tings.
I've been getting, like, shit for how I say length.
Oh, welcome to the club of getting shit for how you say things.
I say, like, length. I do say the G.
I'm never gonna knock someone for pronouncing things as they're spelled.
I'm just a phonetic queen, and that's something I have to live with.
You're hooked on phonetics.
I'm hooked on phonetics. And Zabars.
And toast.
And you.
Oh, and me with you. And Bryce and Strice.
Of course. And Kay Levittson and Roldini.
Of course. And our husbands who we love.
Of course, we love them so much, we put them last.
The best for last.
Truly.
Okay, well, without further ado, let us get into the Fast 5 stories that you need to know, because the stories are storying today, and we've got to get into them.
Well, the stories storying are brought to you by The Kardashians on Hulu. Watch the all-new seasons of The Kardashians, new episodes Thursday, only on Hulu. The world's most famous matriarchy is back for the most intimate look yet inside the family empire. This season, the women work to strike a balance between their extremely successful lives as businesswomen and their very real personal lives. We've got entrepreneurship, sibling rivalry, newfound love, family growth, juggling business, motherhood, family, and more. Jax and I were able to catch up yesterday on her new TV, and it was a very, very wonderful experience watching my favorite family with my favorite family. You know, it's kind of meta like that. It was a really good episode. We got a lot of Kylie. All the girls are in the show. Of course, we've got Queen Chris, Courtney, Kim, Chloe, Kendall, Kylie. All the girls are showing up and showing out this season. There's so much... so many good storylines, but there are also just so many characters in the show, obviously beyond the original girlies, like fan favorites, Scott, Travis. We're getting to see everyone, and it's really fabulous. So the new episodes of The Kardashians drop on Hulu. There are new episodes every Thursday. Again, they're only available on Hulu. This is season 3. I think it's going to be one of their best seasons yet. It's really good. The production quality is also so fabulous. Like their little montage in the beginning when they all went roller skating, big budget. It looks really good. Don't miss season 3 of The Kardashians, new episodes Thursday, only on Hulu. Today's episode is also brought to you by Lululemon, specifically their fabulous shorts for summer. Their shorts were made to stretch, flex, and support the infinite ways of working out, giving you the courage to leap into something totally new and unexpected. So some of our favorite shorts from Lululemon's shorts are the Hottie Hot shorts, and that's their short with a comfortable range of motion and a flattering fit. They allow you to max your stride so you can move freely with confidence. The lightweight Swift fabric lets in airflow so you can move without baggage. They're designed to wick away sweat before you even notice that it's there. We also love the Wonder Train short. So it's the short with super supportive stretch that allows you to stay dry. It's powered by the Everlux fabric. The Wonder Train collection manages heat and sweat so you stay comfortable and you stay focused. Also, for any of our male listeners, or if you ladies have a man in your life who loves to wear athletic wear or works out a lot, the Pace Breaker short are fabulous. Ben loves them. They're really versatile. The lightweight fabric means that you can train, move, and stretch however you want to. Every pair of Pace Breaker shorts is designed to wick away moisture, so all that's left is your intention. So Lululemon is the place to shop for anything in terms of athletic wear, and their shorts are here just in time for summer. It is so hot outside, so whether you're working out or just running errands, you don't want to have like that moist undercarriage. We have to protect our crevices. We have to protect our undercarriage. So you can get into the Lululemon shorts at lululemon.com. That's LULULEMON.com, lululemon.com.
Thank you, Claudia.
You're welcome.
So if you had to sum up the first 2 sponsors, would you say that it's Hululemon?
I would say it's Hululemon.
Hululemon.com/undercarriage.
Exactly.
Okay, our first story, I'm obsessed beyond. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet were seen together for the first time with their famous sisters.
Sorry, I'll allow you to finish.
Please save your thoughts till the end. The rumored couple, Kylie and Timothée, appear to have taken the next step in their relationship, meeting each other's families. So they were photographed together for the first time, mingling with each other's relatives at a barbecue earlier this month. There have been rumors that they've been spotted together. We've seen her car in his driveway. We've seen them like both be in the same restaurant, but we've not gotten a frame of the two of them together in frame. And these photos, which were taken like by some creep at a bird's eye view, are very, very revealing in the sense that these people are all hanging out.
Yeah, no, it was extremely revealing. To me, there's 2 major takeaways from this.
And I just want to say, so Kylie brought her sister, who we know, Kendall, and Timothée brought his sister, who we know, Pauline, because she is Kimberly on Sex Lives of College Girls. And when I first saw the headline that he's with his sister, I'm like, ugh, the sister? But then when I remembered who his sister was, I was like, the sister.
So that was my first takeaway. Like, we have to acknowledge the Kimberly of it all. Kimberly from Sex Lives of College Girls is probably one of my favorite characters like ever created in the television universe. She's so fucking weird and funny, and she's just everything of the sort. So the fact that like, think of it as like Kimberly hanging out with them, and it changes things. It's so fabulous. And the second for me, like, this story is a bombshell. Not because it's showing pictures of Kylie and Timothée Chalamet, but because it's showing Kylie holding a pack of Marlboro Lights and an ashtray. Like, Kylie is a cigarette smoker. I think I might have known that. Like, I think I've seen a photo of her with a cigarette like once or twice, but I forgot. And I can't get over it.
No, I didn't know this. The only thing I'll say is, like, either she's obviously like a pack a day, Jojo Siwa smoking like that, or she's like carrying her man's cigs. Because I could see Timothée
He definitely does.
being into cigarettes. Or she's like gotten into cigarettes because of him. But as much as I never expected this from her, it tracks.
No, by the way, there are like 3 paparazzi photos on the internet. Yeah, she was like 18. I think the other one from when she was like a few years ago. She doesn't say no to a cigarette, but maybe she was celebrating her newfound love.
Yeah, but there's a difference between like being 18 and like being crazy with a cigarette versus like, oh, it's daytime and we're hanging out, I must have a cigarette. I must have my pack and on me with my personal ashtray.
No, okay, so like having a personal ashtray, I think takes us to like another level of like smoker.
Or she was just like bringing out the barbecue tings to the table, including like an ashtray for the group and my boyfriend Sigs.
Well, a lot of people were like, oh, Kris Jenner works hard, the devil works hard, or whatever. Like, Kris Jenner set up these photos for the family. And Enty tweeted, and I thought it was a really good point. Like, yeah, Kris Jenner, sure, sometimes she does that, but like she would never have sanctioned photos of Kylie with cigarettes. Like, there's like, this is so not a setup, it's so real.
Yeah, and I appreciate the reality of the situation and the cigarettes of the situation. Like, it's just an
Which
interesting
sister was she
factoid.
with?
Kendall.
Kendall?
Do you think
I can see Kendall
smokes?
smoking too. Like, it's such a model thing to do. Like, oh, we're hungry? Oh, that's like that TikTok sound. So for breakfast, we have a cigarette and a little bar of chocolate.
But Kendall's
like, it's so model.
like, you know, health and her cryo chamber. Remember that episode where she was like talking about how she's so weirdly obsessed with health?
Yeah, no, that's so true.
That person like doesn't smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, but I feel like that person is actually really Courtney.
No, Courtney is like an extreme for sure. Like if I saw Courtney with a cigarette, like my mind would be blown.
I would be shocked.
But I think Kendall falls into that category a little bit of like matcha, tea, rejuvenate, relax, repeat.
Wait, total weird tangent, and I know you know nothing about this. Do you have any idea what's going on with the Philip Schofield drama?
I've never heard that name.
Okay, so Philip Schofield was on like the biggest morning show in Britain. Like you've probably seen clips of like him and his female co-hosts are like always cackling together. He's kind of like a staple of British media. And a few weeks ago, like some big scandal came out about him. He was like having an inappropriate relationship. Like people are really upset because he was like really in millions and millions of homes for like so many years, and it's blown the network wide open. Whatever. And I don't know like everything about it, but today I saw all over TikTok, he did his first interview and he's talking about how he's like been so depressed, yada, yada. But he's using a vape the entire time. He's in this like really serious sit down interview with like a 60 Minutes equivalent. And he's vaping this like bright blue turquoise vape, like in between questions. It is the weirdest thing.
That's so weird, but he's able to do a morning show for years and not vape.
Right.
Maybe he's just spiraling.
Clearly, like he was saying some really absurd shit.
No, I didn't know about any of that. And honestly, it sounds like I don't need to now know. You know, it's not
but
like
you're so obsessed with the Brits.
It's not like Eam.
You needed to know about Eam Tonga, yeah. No, I don't think you need to know about this, but I just wonder if anyone else listening to this podcast has fallen into the Philip Schofield TikTok drama. But it's not even TikTok drama. I'm just learning about it on TikTok. He very much like operates on like traditional media.
Yeah, it's morning show British drama playing out on TikTok.
It's morning show British drama playing out on TikTok.
I love that rabbit hole for you. I won't stop you.
Thanks.
Well, back to the task at hand. So we can confirm that Kylie and Timothée are a couple. It's not the couple I would choose for her. It's not the couple I would choose for me, but I'm happy for my girl.
Yeah, Timothée Chalamet is just not really ever someone I'm going to be attracted to. And maybe there's something wrong with me or there's something wrong with everyone else, but it's going to be a no for me. But I'm so happy for Kylie.
Yeah, so it's like I just wouldn't pair him with my number one girl. Like, but if he was like spotted dating someone else who I care about at the same level as him, like I'd be more here for it. But for my number one girl, like I want her with my number one guy. That didn't happen.
Which is who? Who's your number one guy?
Oh, that's
Jason Momoa? Kylie and Josh Groban.
Josh Groban has a girlfriend.
He does. I've actually recently started following Josh Groban on Instagram since he responded to one of my Instagram stories that I tagged him in like many moons ago. And he's such a hard worker. He's on Broadway right now in Sweeney Todd. He's really living, like, he's very fulfilled. You should be happy.
For sure, but, like, he doesn't have a choice other than to share his gift with the world. Like, it wouldn't be right.
It's almost a burden.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be right if he just, like, stayed home and took time off. It's like, well, what about your angelic voice?
No, it wouldn't be right if he just, like, worked in marketing and had, like, this cool party trick where he happened to sing really good. Like,
yeah, no, like, he needs to be constantly sharing his gift with the world. Like, God gave you a gift, now share it.
You're so right. And I'm sure he feels that pressure.
But it sounds like he's rising to the occasion. You know who else would do that? Kylie.
We have never seen Josh Groban perform live, have we? Like, in person?
No.
I remember hit up one of his concerts.
There were a couple tours of his that I really wanted to go to. It, like, didn't work out. Like, I remember he had a show on my birthday or something, and I wasn't going to be here. Like, I've actually really tried, and I think I've given up.
Okay, well, I'm going to put that on, like, my list of things to get you in, like, future years.
Because also he's the kind of guy who goes on a tour, like, for a specific album, where it could be, like, a collab album. He did, like, some random album recently, and it's, like, so he's not playing the hits.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's tough. Like, we need a Josh Groban Greatest Hits tour.
Yeah. We do. I'll be front row center.
That's kind of what's so fabulous, not to bring everything back to Taylor, but that's really what's so fabulous about the Eras tour. It's really a greatest hits tour.
True. And speaking of Taylor, our next two stories are Taylor adjacent. Taylor is involved in the next two stories, but it's actually not about the Eras tour, so everyone will be happy to hear about that.
Okay.
First story, Forbes has put out their list of America's richest self-made women, and obviously we're most interested in the celebrities who made the list. And Taylor Swift is now the second richest self-made woman in music, but still kind of far off from being number one. That place is held by Rihanna, who is worth over $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, and this is not me just being like a Taylor apologist, I don't really feel like it's fair for Rihanna to be on the music list because Rihanna's fortune comes from business, which is so impressive, but they should be on different lists.
They are. Forbes put out this huge list. It's like a database. And honestly, in the top 10, top 20, I don't know one of these people's names. It's not just like Oprah and Taylor and Kim and Beyonce. Yeah. But if you search by category, by source, the source of their income, Rihanna is under music and cosmetics. Okay. Taylor's under music.
What about Kim and Kylie?
Kylie is under cosmetics. Kim is under... She's not under fashion. She's under, shapewear and skincare. It's so specific.
Oh, they went real specific.
No, there's literally a category called Spanx, and it's just Sarah Blakely.
Dead.
Yeah, so I think all the publications have broken out this list into the people that we know and made like the top 10 celebrity list, which is, of course, interesting. Yeah. But it's not like just comparing like Rihanna and Taylor. Their sources were different, as noted by Forbes.
Yeah, no. And I think a lot of people were really interested in the Taylor of it all because this year is probably the year she becomes a billionaire because the tour will gross over $1 billion. And at the time of this publication, what would they say her net worth was? $740? So she'll most likely become a billionaire this year after the tour wraps and all the merch and all the songs, which is just, and she also has Speak Now. Like, she'll definitely become a billionaire this year, which is so crazy that she's like not already.
Yeah, it's also always crazy to me that Beyonce is not. I think she's like a 500 million.
Yeah. I will say Taylor definitely had like a leg up the second she started making money because her dad like literally did it for a living, like investment banking, and then I think his full-time job became like handling her money, and so she's like always been really, really smart about her money before she started making serious dough. So, you know, you got to start them young.
Yeah. She also passed Madonna, who has 580 million. And Kylie is on the list. She is at 680 million, which is interesting because, like, Forbes once called her, like, self-made billionaire. Also, it's interesting that they put Kylie on this list. They're sticking by their title of self-made, which I really appreciate them being scrupled about that.
No, people got like so in the weeds about that because self-made when it comes to millionaire means not inherited. Like there's a list of the world's richest women and the top 10 are either heiresses or widows, like or divorcees.
Yeah.
Like there is a difference. It's Kylie Cosmetics. Like it's her company. Yes, she grew up very privileged. That still makes you self-made. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And the top 20 are all like women in business. They're a lot older.
Who's the richest woman in the world? Like just number one?
Oh, in the country.
Oh, country.
Diane Hendricks at $15 billion. Her source is building supplies. She owns like the biggest roofing supply company.
I'm telling you, like, if you want to get rich in this country, like, you have to do the most fucking obscure jobs. It's never like banking. It's always like, yeah, I invented the patent for like the light bulb or whatever.
Number 2, her source is gas stations.
We love a gassy queen.
Number 3, her source is healthcare software. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting list. I'm happy for everyone who's charting.
It's inspiring. I hope to be on that list one day.
And Kim is over $1 billion.
Well, Skims really, in the last few years, people don't even talk enough. Like, Skims is probably more successful, obviously, than KKW Beauty or Kylie Cosmetics, even at Kylie's peak. Like, Skims is really... It's become a noun. The way that, like, when people put on shapewear, they say I'm putting on Spanx. Like, now they also say I'm putting on Skims. Like, it's really become ubiquitous.
Yeah. Also, what I thought was interesting, I forget what category she's under, but I was looking through the categories, and you know who's there at, like, 300 million or 280 million?
Who?
Emma Grede, who's their business partner.
Yeah. That's great. She's
she does
very, very smart.
Safely, Skims, and Good American.
Yeah, and I'm sure she has like other businesses that made her qualified to be that partner.
Oh, you know who's on here under skincare?
Who?
Kathy Fields and Katie Roden of Roden and Fields.
Say it ain't so.
Say it.
A couple MLM queens.
It's a really interesting list.
No, it is. I got to dive in deep.
Yeah, they make it an easy database, except like they really should do a list of names that you've heard of.
Yeah, but no, I do find it really interesting how like non-famous people become so wealthy, like, and what do they do for a living?
Yeah, not all of us can sing, you know, for our supper.
Yeah. Do you remember when we were in Turks and Caicos, we did like a jet ski tour, and like we were staying at this house, and a few houses down was like the biggest house we'd ever seen in our whole lives. And the guy's like so famous on the island, everyone knows him. I think he's from the UK, and we're like, how did he get so rich? He like has a patent on a type of door. It's always like the most obscure shit.
We need to invent a door, Turdy Lou.
I know. I just feel like the door is like, it's like been already invented, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough. We'll figure it out.
We'll think about it. Patreon episode. Redesigning the door.
Coming up with ideas for how to become billionaires.
Our next episode, a little Taylor adjacent news, but not solely focused on Taylor, is that Taylor is bringing Sabrina Carpenter on the Eras tour amid Olivia Rodrigo feud rumors. So Taylor just dropped her international dates, but just South America, not like Europe or anything, right?
No, and she said more international tour dates are coming, and there had been like rumors about Brazil specifically. So I guess she's rolling it out in waves. This one is like very South America.
Yeah, she's going to Brazil, Argentina, and Mexico, and one of her opening acts is Sabrina Carpenter, which, you know, she loves to support a young female talent.
Burgeoning.
But it's notable because Sabrina v. Olivia was the great feud of 2021. And Taylor was really quite close with Olivia. And
tight, yeah.
They've tapered off a little bit, and now Sabrina's here. What does it mean, Turdy?
No, it's interesting, especially because for the American Eras tour, it was like a full lineup. There were like 3 acts. Gail, Phoebe Bridgers, maybe there was just 2. But so Sabrina Carpenter is getting like the full VIP. There's only one, and she's at every show. That's like kind of major for Sabrina. Now, this is interesting. Like I hate to like look for something when maybe there's nothing there, but I do think there's something here. The way that like Olivia Rodrigo popped off and Taylor like immediately supported her because Olivia Rodrigo is the biggest Swiftie, and then Taylor released Fearless, Taylor's version, and had Olivia Rodrigo and Conan Gray make TikToks with the tracks to promote it. Like they were so tight, like, and so publicly on social media, like supporting one another, and like I don't know. Something about this is weird. The way that like they did that and then stopped like acknowledging each other publicly is so weird. And now the Sabrina Carpenter of it all is also weird. Yeah,
but I was saying to you that it does not surprise me. Like I feel like Taylor is more evolved than being like, oh, I'm gonna ice out the girl who stole your boyfriend. When like, first of all, Sabrina didn't like steal anyone's boyfriend. Yeah. She was just like the next girl. And like, I feel like it's very new age Taylor feminism to like support both of these girls because like they're both really talented artists and neither of them like did anything wrong to one another. And I feel like even like Olivia would say that, you know, Like, there's no
I think
beef.
Olivia would say that. I don't think Sabrina would say that.
Right. The only person who should really be pissed here is Sabrina.
Right. Like, Sabrina had, like, a whole smear campaign against her when all she did was, like some kid who was, like, 11. And
because I liked a boy.
Isn't that her song?
Yeah.
All because I liked a boy. Like, all because she liked a boy. So, yeah, Olivia Rodrigo can be, like, copacetic with everyone, but that's easy to say when the world didn't turn on you in an instant.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter probably is mad and has every right to be mad.
Yeah. But where
there's something going on. I'm serious. Like, this is weird.
There's something going on.
But I do agree with you. Like, Taylor's so, like, new age feminist, like, so evolved past this. She wouldn't, like, have beef with someone and then go be with Sabrina Carpenter. Like, I get it.
And she also wouldn't, like,
weird.
penalize Sabrina because she's friends with Olivia and they happen to date the same person. Like, that's just, why are we going to blame women?
No, but you agree, like, there's something weird about this whole thing.
The weirder part is not only Olivia Rodrigo and Taylor, like, going so hard and then not, though that kind of seems to be a pattern for Taylor. Like, Haley Steinfeld we were just talking about.
Yeah, I guess she, like, has, like, friendship eras.
Yeah, which is fine. I think people do that. But also, like, Olivia Rodrigo, where the fuck
is quiet.
Is she?
Is quiet. Yeah, she's been quiet.
Someone actually messaged me something the other day about, like, it was a video of something, and, like, how this girl, like, popped off, took over the world, like, and, like, everyone obsessed with her song. And, like, where is she?
Yeah, I mean, I know I don't think she's on the new season of that High School Musical show.
Okay.
I think she's, like, fully embracing, like, her pop star era. She did a very small tour after, like, this worldwide obsession with her music. She didn't, like, add more dates, do bigger venues. She, like, did the tour and then went very MIA.
Like, I feel like she's probably working on new music, but, like, she's not also, like, participating in.
Well, she was at the Met Gala.
Yeah, but still, like, where was she? I didn't see her.
No, she's quiet. She's definitely like, quiet.
She's fading.
Yeah.
Intentionally or unintentionally, I don't know. It feels a little intentional.
It feels intentional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too much.
It's the Addison effect.
Right. Our queen.
Yeah. So that's just interesting.
No, it is.
Speaking of interesting beef, are you ready for our next story?
Is it the interesting beef that happens to be brought to you by Masterclass?
Yeah.
With Masterclass, you can learn from the best to become your best anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. So they have annual memberships that start at $10 a month, and you get unlimited access to every instructor, thousands of online lessons, exclusive content, insights, and much more. I have to say, Masterclass, like, really has some of the most premier A-list talent teaching their classes. Like, of course, if you watched the Kardashians, you know that Kris Jenner did one that was really well received. Gordon Ramsay has one, Malcolm Gladwell, Steve Martin, Esther Perel, Mariah Carey. So whatever it is that you're, like, looking for, like, for me, I definitely go on the platform and look for, like, more, like, social marketing influencer vibes. But if you want to get into cooking, I mean, Gordon Ramsay teaching you, and you don't have to, like, actually be in his presence, so he can't call you any mean names. Like, how fabulous is that?
Best of both worlds.
There are over 180 classes to pick from. You can find practical takeaways that you can apply to your life and at work. If you run a business, you can use Masterclass to help your team. This is one of those things that just, like, as an adult is a really good use of your time. It's also really entertaining to see people you idolize and love just sit down and talk to you and give you all their secrets. So you can gain new skills in as little as 10 minutes, either on your phone, computer, tablet, smart TV, and even in audio mode to listen on the go for all of our podcast girlies. How much would it cost to take one-on-one classes from the world's best? Well, with Masterclass and their annual membership, it would only cost $10 a month. Get unlimited access to every class, and right now, as a Toast listener, you can get 15% off when you go to masterclass.com/toast. That's masterclass.com/toast for 15% off an annual membership. Masterclass.com/toast. That's a really exciting new sponsor. I feel like everybody loves Masterclass.
It's also an amazing gift. I gave it as a gift to someone who is an aspiring actor, because they not only have masterclasses from actors on acting, from directors, from screenwriters. Like, you could learn the whole industry from the comfort of your bed. And Turdy, what do we love about bed?
What I think a better question is, what don't we love about bed?
Trails.
Today's episode is also brought to you by our favorite, The Perfect Bar, the original refrigerated protein bar that you know and love. And if you haven't heard, Perfect Bar just launched a new line of protein bars called Perfect Bar Layers that Jackie was actually eating in the doctor's office this morning.
I had one in my pocket throughout the day.
Perfect Bar Layers are a new line of crispy protein bars that are stacked with 3 delicious layers and packed with whole food nutrition. They're made with a crispy base of peanut butter and cashew butter. They're layered with dark chocolate or 100% real fruit, and then they're sprinkled with toasted gluten-free oats. They're packed with up to 11 grams of protein, and they come in 2 delicious flavors: crispy peanut butter and chocolate, and a crispy peanut butter and berry, which is basically like a healthy peanut butter and jelly. They're made with only whole food ingredients, which means that they are stored in the fridge, which is just kind of a relief and makes you question every other bar that's not stored in the fridge. They're a classic blend of 20 organic superfoods, and they also contain no artificial preservatives. If you aren't convinced already, they're also non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, soy-free, kosher, and low GI. The best part is that you can now find them in the refrigerated section at Target nationwide. Perfect Bar knows that it'll be love at first bite, so they're offering you a chance to try their new refrigerated protein bars for free. Here's how it works. Sign up for email or texts and upload a picture of your receipt from your local grocery store, and they'll reimburse you for the cost of 1 bar. It'll go directly into your Venmo or your PayPal account, which is pretty cool. All you have to do is go to perfectsnacks.com/toast to get a free Perfect Bar today. That's perfectsnacks.com/toast to get a free Perfect Bar today. Happy snacking.
Happy snacking. I had that peanut butter and jelly one yesterday. And it was mad good.
Mad good, bro.
Next up, Shark Tank star Daymond John files for a restraining order against former contestants. This is crazy. Daymond John has filed for a temporary restraining order against former contestants. Hold on, I'm having such bad heartburn.
Okay, do you want me to edit this out?
No,
or you want
I'll be back in a
what
second.
You're going through?
I'll be back.
Breathe through your nose. You want a tum or something?
They're over yonder. I'm good. It was just a passing thing. I just didn't want to keep
No, choking on your words, I understand.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
After they claimed that he tried to cut them out of their due profits. The celebrity investor, Daymond, requested the order against Al Bubba Baker, his wife Sabrina Baker, and their daughter, Brittany Bo Baker, who have publicly claimed that Daymond John attempted to overtake their Bubba's Q boneless baby back ribs truck.
I just want to say, I remember these people.
Me too. Daymond spokesperson Zach Rosenfield denied the claims made by the Baker family and explained why his client is pursuing such an extreme request. According to Rosenfield, there have been repeated attempts to give the Bakers the ability to correct their violations. It is unfortunate that it has come to this. This temporary restraining order is due to the Bakers' blatant actions to undermine a business partnership and the legal parameters they agreed to 4 years ago. Their belief that they can unwind poor business decisions through slanderous social media posts and articles will no longer be tolerated.
Damn, by the way, this is messy. And you know what's so interesting is that this really has not happened with any sharks and their investments. I think I'm gonna side with Daymond John on this just because he has a track record of being a good what's the word?
Integritous.
Is that a word? When you have integrity?
Integrity
Integral, but that means something different.
Integrity filled,
business person. I think a lot of people, he has many successes from Shark Tank. So if there was a history of him exploiting small businesses and taking over, first of all, I don't know if, of all the things he's invested in, would he try and take over a ribs truck? I think his most valuable investment was that comb that ended up getting licensed by all these companies. If he was going to take over, he was going to take over something much bigger.
Yeah, I agree. I'm intended to side with Daymond. I don't think we have any idea what happened. The LA Times had reported that the Bakers claimed that they were offered $300,000 for 30% of the company when they were on the show. But then they went on, Daymond went on to revise the terms of the investment, instead offering $100,000 for 35% of the company. And he also wanted to take the company into business with Richest Foods Group. But that's kind of congruous with what we know about Shark Tank. I feel like so many of the deals fall through. And it wouldn't be surprising if a deal changes after the show, because then they do get to see actual paperwork. On the show, you could say, oh, I did this much in revenue. But then when you go to sign the deal, if it doesn't add up, you don't get a deal. But maybe the deal just changes too.
The deals that they make in the Shark Tank are predicated on everything that person pitched being 100% true. And it's not once they shake hands, the deal is done. They actually do all the paperwork, and the people who are business owners have to provide we actually did do $2 million last year. And if they lied or they fudged some numbers, their valuation goes down, and then that makes the investor want to change their deal. And I think if you're a true Shark Tank fan, you know that 50% of the deals that are made on TV actually don't even go through. And afterwards, they're subject to change.
Yeah. Also, I think it's not even like about lying, but when you, in any business, like you have so many papers, you have so many numbers, like maybe it didn't come up how many employees you have and how much salary.
Or that you
have
like, some debt.
Yeah. Like things just don't come up. You get to see 100% what the business is, and is that what you thought it was? They are able to go back on their initial offer. So again, I'm with you. Like, Daymond has a very good track record. This is one out of many deals that's gone.
Yeah.
That it's the only one that's gone south, it seems. So I also don't think he would take such big steps in like
strong.
Such a strong reaction if he was in the wrong. Like, I feel like he'd just make it go away.
Yeah, I'm inclined to side with Daymond on this one.
Yeah, but very interesting.
Yes.
Our fifth and final story is a little biz news that I find so interesting. That
oh yeah, I know this.
It's the perfect Friday fifth and final.
It is.
Because
these were good stories, Jackie. Thank you.
What?
They were good stories today.
Right? They were storying.
Yes. They were giving story.
It's giving story.
Yeah.
The New York Post published an article yesterday saying that your favorite takeout joint is actually a catfishing scam and it's totally legal. So they did this whole write-up on this bodega type restaurant. It's called Gourmet Deli. There's one in the city. It's on 90th Street and 1st Avenue. And from the outside, it seems like every other deli spread across the city. On a typical morning, various locals pop in for bacon, egg and cheese sandwiches, coffee. But another wave of customers is flooding in through food delivery apps, only they don't know they're ordering from a bodega. The deli, located on 1st Avenue, is advertised as no less than 27 different restaurants across Uber Eats, Postmates, Grubhub, Seamless, and DoorDash. On those platforms, it's listed as 27 different things. I'm going to read you some so you can see what they're doing. 1, 1st Avenue Gourmet Deli. Next, Hero Sandwich Shop. Next, Boss Cat Cheesesteaks. Next, The Pancake Snob. Next, Wraps on Tap. Next, Insomnia Buffalo Wings.
By the way, I would 100% order from a place called Wraps on Tap.
No, I know. They sell all these things at their huge deli, so they've sectioned it out to be like a glitzier idea of something. Because honestly, I don't know that I would order from Gourmet Deli.
I would not.
But I might order from Tina's Tea Shop.
I would definitely order from Sandwich Slut.
The Sandwich Slut is here. Empire State Panini. Seth Sandwiches. Who's Seth? I don't know. I don't care.
No, Jackie, I have to say, this should not be illegal, and it's not. It is the most genius thing, and it kind of taps into, like, you know, user culture on these apps. Like, you're so persuaded by, like, the restaurant's name and, like, their pictures that even if you've never been to this place, you've never heard of this place, there's, like, a formula in the algorithm that'll get you. This is brilliant. Like, I have to say, I am beyond impressed. To me, I think some people are like, this is, you know, deceitful. I think this is the smartest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
This is just smart business, like some small business owner being resourceful, like seeing what's going on in the marketplace and adjusting. Also, what's also interesting is that the prices for everything changes based on where you're ordering from, also versus if you go into the store. So Princess Panini, Empire State Panini, and Panini Fantasy, which are all Gourmet Deli,
Paninis.
They all offer a tuna melt for $16 to $17, but First Avenue Gourmet Deli sells theirs for $9. But they really are tapping into like this like aesthetic, the way that people are so like caught up with like pictures and how things look. Like, I think they're just playing the game.
They are living in the future, my friend. And you know what? You and I love to order from this ghost kitchen.
Yes. Well, so this is the article says that for a while, all of these places were confused with ghost kitchens because ghost kitchens popped up during the pandemic. They sprang up as like businesses in brick and mortar spaces that only do delivery. So it's not a restaurant. Yeah. You can't go in there, but they like took over old restaurants.
Just a commercial kitchen.
And they rented a new crew to do delivery only kitchen. And there is one ghost kitchen that we love so much. And the thing is, the delivery comes good because it's made for delivery. Like, honestly, I'd rather order from a ghost kitchen than order from Nobu. It comes like shit because they don't care about their delivery. They're not a delivery business.
No, ghost kitchens are genius, but now I'm definitely suspicious.
Yeah. Well, so ghost kitchens are a separate thing where like that is a restaurant. There's only one of them. This is, I guess, like some sort of digital eats catfishing.
Catfish.
I just think they're playing chess.
No, if I could meet the man or woman whose idea this was, like, I would shake their hand. It's so genius.
It's so genius. And as long as the food is good. So the only criticism that people have, which I guess you could say is like, legit is that it kind of violates some health code stuff because most delis and bodegas in the city are classified as stores, supermarkets, and food manufacturers, and they're regulated by New York State's Department of Agriculture and Markets, not the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So they're not like, they have different rating systems for like cleanliness and stuff in a supermarket versus a restaurant. So I guess there's like more open to issues, like the letter grades and inspections aren't the same.
I don't care.
But I don't care.
No, I literally love this.
What's also interesting is in this article they said that in some cases chain restaurants that like Denny's lists itself as a different brand to appeal to more customers online for delivery only. Like Denny's has delivery only called The Meltdown.
Okay, I have experienced this, not in New York. Always when I'm on tour and I'm like the room service and the hotel is closed, I'll go to Uber Eats and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of this. I ordered like a grilled chicken sandwich from like this cool, it was called like American Pub. It was just like bar food. I literally got it, the bag, and I opened it and all the the wrapper on the sandwich, the bag was Red Robin.
Wow.
And you know what? I didn't even care because it was literally one of the best sandwiches I've ever had.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if it's good, it's good. If it arrives like the pictures say, like then okay, so you got played. Sorry.
You got played, but it's so interesting.
But did you even, like, you got your sandwich. You got what you asked for.
For a second, I thought I got the wrong order. Because I'm like, did I order from Red Robin? And I checked and I didn't. And I was like, damn, well, I can't communicate with the guy because the order's over. Let me see what this person ordered. And it was quite literally what I ordered. That's how I realized I had been catfished.
But it was okay with you. It's like maybe you get catfished sometimes by someone that you actually are attracted to.
We're meant to be with.
And like would love. And it's a happy ending.
It was a happy ending for me and my Red Robin sandwich. And you know what? I don't think at that point I had ever had Red Robin. And now
Red Robin's fucking good.
Red Robin's
Red
fucking
Robin.
Good. Yum. No, I was definitely hooked on Red Robin.
Yeah,
and
but
Phonics.
It was like your biases were stopping you from ordering from there. So they needed to rebrand.
Quite literally.
Yeah. And, like, I could see myself, I wouldn't order from Gourmet Deli, but, like, Princess Panini, like, I'm hungry.
No, it's Jackie. I'm telling you, when you sent me this article yesterday, I was obsessed. I think this is the best idea on the planet.
No, this is a smart businessman or woman who is playing the hand that they're dealt.
Yeah. And I love it.
And this tweet at the end sums it up for me. Whatever, man. Is the food good? Did you die? Yeah. All right, then. Gonna order. Shit.
No, it's... Shit. So true.
Honestly,
well, those were really good stories. Thank you.
Let us know what you think about catfishing restaurants. But you know what they should do next at Gourmet Deli? They should inside have like a little sign that says Princess Panini's next the sandwich slut, like, and
also known as. They should really change the name of their deli to also known as.
And like a little note at the New York Post for blowing up their spot.
I know, but they gave us something to talk about, and I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and now I can like really feel like the ingenue and American creativity like is not gone.
No, we're back on track, baby. America first.
This person should be head of the economy.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So those are the stories. That was your show. That was your week, and it was fabulous. Next week is still very much up in the air. Jax is going to take it day by day. We'll see how she feels on Monday. We'll probably do a mix of audio only, Ben on the toast, Satch on the toast, Taylor on the toast, if that's okay with everyone.
That's okay with me. I'm here to do audio only, but I know Turdy's got to be seen. She's got to see and be seen.
No, I'm literally seen NBC.
But we'll do like the Monday post Vanderpump for sure will be us, like the big ones.
Oh, that's a good call. Monday and Thursday, definitely Jackson Claude.
Yeah, but you never know.
I also love you on Wednesdays because of Dear Toasters, but we'll figure it out.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday sounds good to me.
Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Again, thanks for your patience this week and today with the delayed episode. We love you dearly. Thank you so much for listening to the Toast and Millennium Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to know every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as a podcast anywhere podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Video, iHeartRadio, Castbox, all the places where you listen to podcasts. Find us. The Toast, leave a 5-star review about how beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. Have an amazing weekend. We love you, and we'll see you on Monday.
Love ya. Bye.